Welcome to Black Love Matters, which serves as a therapy session for figuring out adulthood,
loving each other,
or finding our inner Barack and Michelle,
or Jay-Z and Beyonce. Or this episode, we're gonna go with Carter G. Woodson. Now I don't know. Quiet as it's kept. I don't think Carter G. Woodson was married to a woman and or a man. How you doing? However, he was married to the game in his craft, because he is the creator of Black History Month. So the precursor to Black History Month was created in 1926 when historian Carter G. Woodson and the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History announced the second week of February to be Negro History Week. This week was chosen because it coincided with the birthday of Abraham Lincoln on February 12th and Frederick Douglass on February 14th, both dates communicate Black communities and celebration, period. Mm-hmm. Happy Black History Month, y'all.
Happy Black History Month.
We made it. I've been seeing memes on Instagram that talking about January was a tough year. I'm glad we made it.
January was a tough year.
Wow, it's been a while. I feel like we've been tugging along to get to February 1st. Thank you, Jesus.
It was rough. I can tell you that. It was rough.
Yeah. And this is the time to kind of, flip it, right? I do believe January was a little rough going. And this is the month where you can kind of tighten it up. I always say if you get through February, that's hopefully when the last of a little bit of the snowstorms come. Once you start getting to March and April, we're making our way on the spring, right? Mm-hmm. I personally enjoy Black History Month, though. I enjoy February.
Yeah.
Because of all things Black.
I enjoy that, too. Mm-hmm. Eyes on the Prize.
Oh, wait. Oh, you talking about movies.
Roots.
No, you watch Roots in December.
I missed it this year.
Yeah, well, that's your fault. That's no one else's but your fault. That don't mean we watch it again, sweets.
So.
Thank you.
It comes in February.
You silly. Who is you?
I'm Neil.
And I'm Nyambi.
And this is episode 220, y'all.
It's 220. It's Friday, your favorite day of the week.
It is. It's Shout Out Friday. So be sure to leave a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts and on Stitcher. Help us get to our goal of 2,000 5-star ratings and reviews on Apple Podcasts. Help us. And follow us on all forms of social media. Black Love Matters.
Yeah.
That's Black with no K.
Yeah.
What's going on with you?
I don't have much except I'm so happy it's Friday. Out here in the Bay, y'all. I don't even know if I should mention weather. First of all, I'm sorry for all y'all on the East Coast and the Midwest. What the polar vortex is going on?
Man.
Thank you. This is why we're grateful. I can't believe we made it. Because that would be us. Mm-hmm. In white-ass New England, throwing room temperature water out the window and freezing, and it turns to dust. I don't know who pissed Elsa off, but she just put a snow curse on the whole eastern seaboard.
Just everybody. In
the Midwest. I think I seen a picture where the toilet water in the bowl froze. They must ain't pay no bills. But the toilet water in the bowl froze. Yeah, because in some places, I think Wisconsin, Chicago's the coldest at negative 45, which is crazy. And here we the hippie dippies in California, our news people, they ain't talking about shit. I'll tell you about our weather in a minute. But they was like, wow, in the Midwest and the East Coast, it's almost 110 degree difference. What? Our weather is so moderate, unchanging, that we reporting on y'all weather. The weatherman, it might do a little drizzle, about 60 degrees. Let's check out Minneapolis. It's over 110 degree difference between us and Minneapolis today. Wow.
If you look at Doppler radar.
Yeah, they done zoomed in on the Midwest East Coast. They ain't even looking at California.
If you look at Doppler radar, Michigan is gone from the map. Just pray for Michigan because it's gone.
Just pray for Michigan. But it's cold, y'all. When was the last time you heard? I think maybe one time when was it on White Ass New England when in Michigan the news carrier stopped. Not the news carrier, the mail carrier. I don't blame them. Shit, they didn't even have to tell them to stop.
No Amazon Prime, no nothing.
Oh, Amazon's sick. Bezos sick. Mackenzie's on her line. How do we pay people? They connecting with Uber. How can we work with some of these people? Because then we get a package from Amazon look like from our neighbor.
Yeah,
look like a nigga who just lived from Uber Eats. I said, did our Uber Eats driver deliver our Amazon package?
I don't know.
Remember the day the door rang?
Yeah,
and they was like, I said, it's 9:30 at night.
Yeah,
and did they drop it or did they deliver it?
They just deliver it. I've seen that guy before, or they deliver it. Okay. I was saying drop it and deliver at the same time.
What the hell you was
slurring?
And
then it came out to be deliver it.
What you was slurring?
They dropped it off.
Yeah.
But I've seen him before around Christmas time where I was taking out the trash one day, and the hood nigga in me almost fucked up Christmas for everybody like they did me back in 1996.
Oh my God, get over that.
I can't.
You have to. You have to work through that with your therapist.
So there was this car that had flashing lights on, and all the doors were open.
Of course.
And I was throwing out trash. You know me, the hood nigga. Let me see what the hell is going there. So I just turned and peeked inside the car to see what's going on, and there was nothing but Amazon boxes all up in the car.
Oh my God! Don't do that, Nero. Karma's a bitch.
Christmas almost didn't happen for some people.
Karma's a bitch, and she got a long memory.
I know.
Don't do that.
The Detroit me almost came on under me because I was just gonna take all them bitches.
Oh my God! And do what with it?
Hell,
you know,
open
people
them
don't
all
even
up.
be buying shit from Amazon. People be buying old ass books. You know, it ain't what it was, right? You might get a box of carrots.
Nah,
be
during
disappointed.
Christmas time.
Oh yeah,
No.
wrappers. Box within the box. You don't know what you're gonna get from Amazon, honey. Because you know Jeff Bezos said we provide everything.
From
What you
A to
want,
Z?
we got it. But what I was saying, as I said, I'm thinking about y'all folks out on the East Coast and the West Coast. Oh, what I was cracking up about, they told the folks, and I know in Detroit for a fact, because my mom and all my cousins and aunties done texted me. Consumers done told us to turn our heat down to 65 degrees. I'm turning it up more. I said, you niggas go blow that grid if you want. You niggas blow the grid if you want. That's crazy. I don't think I've ever received a text to say you turn your heat down.
It's
That's like
so damn
old school, like in the
cold.
summer when it's hot.
It's so damn cold. Everybody got their heat up that the grid is
Can't
being.
take it. It's just spinning. It's just
Everybody like they're gonna be high as hell.
everyone, and this is when no one cares,
No.
right? And the thing, and it's so cold. Like even if you don't pay it, they're not turning nothing off.
No.
Right, I think that's illegal. Right, they can't even shut nobody off.
Nope.
And niggas like, I ain't turning mine to 65 degrees.
It's cold as hell in here.
I wondered that when they asked people, did people really turn it down, or did people turn it up? Like, did it have a negative impact? Maybe they should have delivered it differently. They should have started with the bad news. If we do not balance our, energy uses, we won't have no power. Your choice, niggas. May the odds be in your favor. Okay, do it like Hunger Games.
Yes.
But folks can't go. I don't know. I'm glad. I am thankful I don't have to experience that.
Not no more, right?
Nope. I told you, as I get into my weather this weekend here, it's going to be a little rainy. It's going to be 65 and rain. And I think I'm gonna just stay in the house, watch Netflix, and crack my patio door.
Oh.
But I'm looking forward to that. Are you, Nero?
Yes. What, the good weather?
The rain, and have the summer breeze in. I think it's like we haven't had our windows open in a while because it's been like neutral. It's been like 50 degrees. But I think this weekend it's time to crack the window. Clean the little windows.
What? I gotta take the plastic off the windows.
I'm talking about it. You can't take the hood out the what?
You can't take it up. No.
I'm talking about the patio door.
Oh.
And then the kitchen and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Get a little piece of breeze in there, so I'm looking forward to it. But just a relaxing weekend. I've been a little productive. I got a braid appointment, not this weekend, but next weekend. And they look like they were about their business, and I'm excited about that. Work is actually going really well. It's some stuff going on, but it's such a different environment out here in Silicon Valley, and like how they want to change and shift, and they're so focused on productivity that I think we'll be able to work through it. Like It's just a different. I don't know. Can you tell I have a different energy around work?
Yeah.
And presentations. I think my life in higher ed is really paying off, right? So the idea that I've been giving presentations, I feel like since ninth grade to now, I'm learning to tech folks. The nerds not good at presentations, honey.
No.
Woo! I sat in some end of the year wrap ups or beginning of the year wrap ups. I thought I was about to die.
Let alone talking to people.
Painful. When I tell you they were painful, and mind you, people doing good shit. Like their delivery was so painful that it undermined like all the work that they did.
Everything goes.
Like
You
I
can't
almost
even pay
checked
attention.
out, and when I was reading their slides, I'm like, shit. Like you can't. Like you put in work, right? But the tone and the monotone was so, oh my God, jarring.
Wah, wah, wah,
But that's what I heard. I feel
wah.
like it was on Charlie, what's it called? Charlie Brown. And then I had to do this presentation too. So I'm like, good morning, get excited. Meanwhile, I'm not saying anything half as interesting as them. Half. I'm not. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm not. I'm talking about a little more fluffier stuff. Like I got numbers on there, but I don't gotta memorize like they do.
Let me look at the next slide.
Because that's the thing. Like, they don't memorize numbers, percentages. And this is me. What? The 83%. No, 2%. But the thing is, I came there. I guess I pretended that I liked my work. Like, I had some enjoyment. And at the end, people were like, that was an amazing presentation. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what? Oh. I ain't really say much. Right. That was definitely an example of me using a lot of words to say not much. Like, my presentation should have really been 30 seconds. We're doing good. We're working on developing trust within the team. Our numbers have doubled from last year. That really should have been my presentation. But, I'm giving stories, telling jokes, trying to connect. And they were so impressed. And it kind of cracked me up a little bit. What you think about that, Daryl?
That's what you do, baby. That's
what I do. And then we actually have a colleague who's coming back off leave. And, of course, like, we like to decorate kind of folks' area to welcome them back. Mm-hmm. And I was in charge of decorating. And tech nerd folks, like, they was like emailing, like, are we ready? Do you have enough bandwidth to do it? And I'm thinking in my head, to decorate a fucking like, did I misread the requirements? Ain't we just gonna throw some balloons and some streamers?
Right.
So I was like, let me do this shit. And I finally got it done. And the person's like, well, I'll get the flowers. I'm like, well, bitch, you look like you're anxious about something. So you get the flowers. So I even come to the office. I'm not doing it to the end of the day because the person come back today, right? So I did it at the end of the day, Thursday. So I'm coming in about 3 or 4 o'clock. And she's like, I put the flowers there and I printed out the cards. So I have some on her desk. I was like, they come back tomorrow morning, right? And I wondered, like, bitch, I was busy today. I worked. I had meetings. Meanwhile, her flower she got is piss poor. It looked dead. You know how white people love them succulents.
Yeah.
I'm like, that look dead.
Well,
that's
just
dirt.
That's the only type of plant that'll survive in the office setting.
I mean, but Jesus. Like, you could have got 3 succulents. I feel like it was just one.
Did they get it from the grocery store?
I don't know. Where? Trader Joe's? I don't know where she got that from. But she thought she was doing something, honey. And then I come up and Niram came at the end of work for me because I had went and bought some balloons too. And you know me, I'm from the Midwest. I'm poor. I don't go to Party City to get balloons. I went to the dollar store. Mm-hmm. And so I got all these balloons to match around. What is your feedback on the setup of the office?
Naomi went definitely back to the days when she was creating door decks.
I went back to my resident assistant day. Once a resident assistant, always a resident assistant. I have a PhD in fucking door decks. You hear me? So you're asking me to decorate a desk? Bitch, do you know what I can do with some latex and some tissue paper?
Oh, but Jesus.
What do you,
help me, Lord.
Do you know what I can create?
Naomi got shit flying from the ceiling. Got balloons all over the place. Let alone, like, the person's that's not that big.
No, not at all. Not at all. Like, they're going to be, like, squished in.
Yes.
When you first walked in, you were like, this is too much.
Yes. I was like, this is overwhelming.
How is it over? You think the person be happy? They've been gone for like 7 months.
It was overwhelming for me.
And then when they walk in their office, I got like, what are those called? Like the little 70s door? Like, not beads, but it's like foil?
Yes. Like, yes. It was just, it's just over the top. It's over the top. But you know what? That's what y'all do. That's what y'all do in y'all field. So I can only imagine. I've been to a couple of y'all Christmas parties, so I expect that.
That's what you think the person expect that too? I'm a little mad that succulent is not with my brand. Because if I would did a succulent, I would have made it like at least 4 times that size. Look at what is this? That ashtray? Look like she got an ashtray and pulled some weeds from outside in it.
Oh my God.
So work is going good. I'm sorry, I didn't even really elaborate on stuff that's going on. Some of the junior folks, some of the brown junior folks are kind of going through motions. You know the motions you go through when you're 22, 23, 24, 25 and the only black person in your department, right? That normal bullshit. So I'm helping them navigate through that while at the same time using my sphere of influence to educate and inform some of my colleagues. Because believe it or not, it's maybe 2 or 3 that they have no hope. I just pray for them because only God can change them. But the rest of them do want to be like, they recognize something. They want to do better.
Yeah.
They want to do better. Like I said, 2 or 3 don't. And that's fine. I just pray every night. But the rest of them do. And my goal is to get the folks who do want to play right, to get them on board. And them 2 or 3 folks, maybe we'll make them miserable enough they'll leave. So that's kind of my new plan, is to kind of get a whole like crew of people that's in support, and the people who are trash have them so sick of us when we open our mouth that they leave.
They just bounce.
Like I want to change the power dynamic. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's a little strategic, right? Mm-hmm. Instead of like trying to have conversations with the fuck niggas, right? Like, cause they fuck niggas, right? They just gonna be on some fuck shit. So I want to change the, I don't know, just change the power dynamic, right? And instead of me always saying something, I need to recruit a whole gang of white people who be like, "Why would you say that, Barbara?" What? You know they be Barbara.
Why would you say that? That's so problematic.
So I'm in the process of training a whole crew of people to say things that I will say to them because I'm not in their same office. Mm-hmm. So the only time we really interact is like when we have like bigger meetings, and I don't think that's enough, right? That's only once a week. Like I need the people in their office being like, "Oh my God, why would you say that? Should we like have a conversation?" Mm-hmm. You know how they be.
Yes, we're gonna have a chat. Let's have a bagel chat about this. Motherfuckers chatting over bagels and shit.
Come on. So that's my goal to kind of do that. And at the same time, support the brown babies. I'm trying to refocus the brown babies to say, don't worry about this person. Are you seeing a therapist? Are you getting 30 minutes of activity daily? Have you combed your hair? What's that book out, Girl, Wash Your Face? Right? Like, maybe they did those basic things. Right?
Have you washed your face today?
Have you moisturized?
Let alone that. When the last time you brushed your teeth?
Or change your toothbrush head.
Yeah. Have you changed your toothbrush head in a while? When the last time you flossed?
Yeah, I'm trying to get them to focus more on that type of thing, right? Because them fighting that battle and that power dynamic, that's not worth their energy. Mm-hmm. What else going on with me? I have a new what's it called? Obsession? Mm-hmm. Obsession? Am I saying that right? With Andrew Caldwell. I'm delivered. I don't like men's. I found his Instagram.
Okay.
And I went down a rabbit hole. I don't know if you know. You went to sleep early 2 nights ago. Uh-huh. I stayed out in the living room for 2 hours, going through every post he's ever put up.
Why?
Crying, laughing.
Why?
I don't know. He's so endearing now. Like he be like in one sentence, he be like, "I remember one time, everything he say with an S. He got a list. Oh. He's like the pastor had me and the first ladies up on the pew in the front line. The first lady, she understand. Like he just be saying these elaborate ass stories, and people in the comment be like, "You a lie?" Like, and then the next post would be like, "Let me tell you how the goodness of the Lord." Wait a minute. And then he had another post where he had a new fur coat. And he like twirled and did a stomp in it. Like everything about him. And then he was like, "Stop calling me sis." And I had to put a little respect on his name. He an Instagram comedian. He been around since 2014, Nero. It's 2019. That's longevity.
I'm Delivered been around since 2014?
2014 is when I'm Delivered.
Damn.
So we got to put a little respect. He's an Instagram comedian.
Oh. And
I just went down a rabbit hole. First, it started with Messy C. If y'all want another trip, check out Messy C. Be prepared for Messy C. Don't watch Messy C around the kids. Because he another one that add S's to the end of the names. It's a lot. And then somehow I went from Messy C to Andrew Caldwell. And I seen every post he put in. Oh. If you need a little joy in your life, go ahead. Go ahead, because he's giving me a little bit, like, I don't even know. I don't even got my phone in here to even show you something. Pass your phone there. I'm going to find something. Okay. It's just something that just brings joy.
It brings you joy, baby?
Yes. I know I don't even know. You know, I hope he's seeing a therapist, too, because I do think he need therapy.
Okay.
But I think he know a little bit what he doing, too.
Well, you got to do. You got to.
Like, I think he know what he doing, but the thing is, it overlaps sometimes where he think he's like being funny and sincere, but we laughing at him, not with him. I don't like that too much. But the stuff with,
but you be laughing at him though.
I be laughing at him when he laughing at him. Too. I like to keep it that way. But yeah, some of his shit, I'm like, nah, boy, that ain't working. I want to show Near something. Well, let me see this one.
Help is coming. Promotion is coming. Everything that you desire is in his will. It's already done. Look at your neighbor and say, "It is already done." Already done. Because
it's already done.
The things that we are going through
already
right now,
done.
It's already done. Ain't no doubt about it. Ain't no doubt about it.
Oh.
And now I'm making frosted flakes.
Oh.
Come on and give God some praise. He's in the midst. I was making Captain Crunch.
You was making Captain
And now I'm
Crunch
making frosted flakes
to Frosted
with the sugar
Flakes
on top of it.
with the sugar on
Give God
top.
some praise. I'm making it. I'm making it. Look at your neighbor and say, give me the milk. Because I'm about to ready to pull my cereal and eat it. As you begin to eat your cereal, look at it as golden money.
Naomi,
Coming your way.
give me the milk.
God said money is coming, health is coming, promotion is coming. Everything that you desire
Thank you.
in his will
Look at him.
is already done.
Hey.
Look at your neighbor and say, it is already done.
Okay.
It's
So
already
that's just a
done.
taste. So how many places did we go with that in that 1 minute Instagram post?
First of all, from Captain
Milk.
Captain Crunch
If you
to
knew what I've been through, you'll be giving
Frosted
God some praise.
Flakes.
Walk with me. Come on and magnify the Lord. Let's exalt his name all together. Oh, I sought the Lord and he heard my cry. Oh, taste and see.
oh taste and see.
Child. Oh, it's some classic one on here.
Come on.
Okay, I'm stopping y'all. But so I
Taste
don't want that.
and
So if
see.
y'all just have some free time and you just need some couple giggles, go ahead and check out Andrew Caldwell on Instagram. Is Andrew_C_Caldwell CALDWEWLL. Thank you. I'm acting like him now.
Mm-hmm.
He said the frosted the flakes. One of them, I'm trying to find where it was. He was trying to say February. He was like fairy.
What?
It's just too much. Like, he got a little bit of a lisp, and me too. So, again, I am just grateful for this man because he has made my day.
Okay.
All right, Nero, go ahead.
You still looking for it?
I'm looking for fairy.
For fairy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Well, I'm more on the somber note while Nyambi is kind of turned. So I got some bad news this past today or yesterday when y'all hearing this. And it was almost through a game of telephone.
Yeah.
I don't know why people just didn't tell me.
Yeah.
So it's like my cousin hit me up on Facebook, called me, and then my sister called me and said, hey, you talked to your cousin. And then my mama called me, and it's like, no. And then come to find out, all this, and then I finally called my cousin. It's like, your pop's in the hospital, and, he ain't got much longer on this earth.
Yeah.
So, I'm kind of at I'm kind of numb about it because our relationship has been so strained that I've kind of moved on from the situation, even though, everybody's like, you only got one dad and, yada, yada, yada. But, I don't know. I'm just kind of numb to the situation, right? And this is something that I've been mentally preparing for a while because he's been sick for a while. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still kind of, like I said, I'm just kind of numb to it right now.
Yeah.
And I don't know how else other to explain it, right? It did mess with my energy today, hearing that news, even though it was something that I was preparing for. So I might have to travel back to Detroit soon.
How did it affect your energy?
I think anytime I hear about death,
Yeah.
affects my energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially growing up where, seeing niggas get killed and everything else, like death, like hearing the news about death always like messes with my aura for the first couple of days. Like even if somebody I don't even know, like, damn, somebody died. Like, damn.
It's that cancer energy.
I guess so, right?
Y'all feel hard. Cancers feel very hard. They're like, what's it called? Empaths? When like you kind of absorb the energy around you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, just going through that, right, and just trying to figure out, why it had to be like this whole game of telephone. Like why my sister had to call me and my mom had to call me and things of that sort. And neither one told me. But also like coming to the fact that, my aunt is more or less the caregiver for my pops. Because like, not to go into the whole detail, but it was a lot of back and forth and bickering in the family about, you know, my father's care and things of that sort.
Yeah.
And like, you know, he's the type of guy that has like pensions and things of that sort. And, you know, when he got sick, I was in my, you know, early 20s, right? And I was still an undergrad. And the first thing I said was like, put him in a home. Like, take all that money he's given, put him in the best home, and, you know, be that. But other people had other plans, right? You know, some family members was taking care of him and renting new cars every weekend and shit instead of just buying a car, right? Yeah. You know, other family members was taking that money and, you know, renovating their houses and shit like that. So, you know, it came to be a big, like, in part, a big fight in the family, on his side of the family, right? About who's going to take care of him and who's going to be, who wants the rights to his monies and things of that sort. So, you know, and I was at the point where I was like, I'm not for any of this stuff. Yeah. So, like, right, I don't want no rights. So, you know, just going through all that. So, you know, for him to, you know, finally be on the precipice of, you know, going to the other side, and, you know, it just makes me wonder, like, what are these people going to do now? Mm-hmm. And so,
is that what you're really wondering?
Or
is there something else?
No.
I know you said the question, you know, why did you wonder why folks play phone tag? You know, I believe the answer's within yourself. Do you know why no one wanted to tell you?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
You know?
don't want to unpack?
No.
I mean, you can come off very stern. So I don't know if folks were prepared for how you're going to answer.
Uh-huh.
Maybe that's it.
What you mean to come off stern?
Like, I think you, not stern, maybe it's not the word, stoic.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes it's hard to read you. Not many people poke the bear that you call Nero. Mm-hmm. A handful of us. I think Nyambi's one. Mm-hmm. But
I don't know. Even like I guess I can see where you're coming from. Like, even like my cousin, he's like, you know, I just want to call and let you know that he's in the hospital again. You know, blah blah blah. This is going on. The hospital says this. You know, I'm gonna go sit with him next. You know, tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, you know, I definitely can't come within this week, but I'll, you know, get my funds together to prepare, you know, for a funeral.
Yeah.
And she's like, you know, I was like, you know, thank you for letting me know. You know, have a great day. Like, just thank you for letting me know, cuz.
Oh my God, Jesus.
What? No, because the thing is, like, I don't know, like, to call, you know, to keep it real, like, I'm not really that cool with my father's side of the family. Mm-hmm. And it's not even that cool. It's less like, you know, I haven't been around or like interacted with them in like a longer phase since I was like in my teens, like early teens, like middle school, right? So, you know, to middle school, like now to me in my 30s, like I really don't know these folks. And they really don't know me.
But remember, we have to embrace our inner Michelle Obama.
I understand
and
that.
When they go low, we have to what? Go high.
Oh, punch in the face.
No. And know that as you have come into your manhood, right? And you have to make sure, I always tell people, you have to make sure, like Sister Von Zant says, you have to make sure your words and your actions are integrity. Mm-hmm. So as a man, you know, you have to make sure you're confident in the response that you're giving other folks and the actions that you're distributing to the stimulus that's going on.
Right.
Right? Regardless of what they did, what they didn't do, none of that. None of that's matter. All that is separate now. The only thing you can control is your actions.
Yeah.
And how you move through it. Right? So nothing they did or not, that has nothing to do with how you moving. Like, you're beyond that point. But you have evolved. Mm-hmm. That's something that not a fully evolved that's what a grown boy would say, right? Mm-hmm. A grown boy will let that still influence how they move. But as a man, you can't let that influence how you move. Mm-hmm. You have to be confident in how you move, regardless of whatever happened. They did what they had to do in that moment because of them. That's between them and their maker. When they get to the end, they got them books. You have to just make sure what you're doing now is in integrity with your core values. And when you go meet your grand architect, your maker, and he pull out the book and say on February 1st, 2019, why? Who, what, when, where, how? Why? Right? You can't be like, well, no, I ain't trying to hear that. I'm talking about you. Right? And I think that's the tough part, right? Especially in the phase of life that we're in. Like, I think that's all what the 30s and 40s about. To be like, what am I in integrity? Right? Mm-hmm. And it's fucked up, right? I mean, that's why we got to see a therapist, right? That's why we got to get self-care to be like, wait, okay, I know I'm supposed to move this way, but what about that bullshit?
Right.
Right? And that's the hard part. That's knowing when you real grown. That's knowing when you real grown and your mental health where it needs to be. But it's a journey, honey. Because, I walk a crooked path. Okay? Don't ever get it twisted for Nyambi. I'll revert back and get on my knees at the altar in a minute. But trying to be clear-minded in your other half, that's something you have to, what we were talking about in the episode, the things you're doing now is setting into place, like,
For the future.
For the future, right? So it's not even about all that, right? It's about you and the tone you want to set for your daughter or your son to come. Your daughter, your son, your girl, like all that. Like you whatever generational trauma cycles that's happening, right? This is the cue to stop it, right? This is the precipice to stop it, right? To do something different than folks maybe before you didn't do it because they didn't have the means to support, the courage, the bandwidth, the emotional support, whatever it is, right? You let that go, you forgive that, and you start a new cycle. Period. Because if you don't, this begins the next one. Right? And you have to stay and say, not on my... What'd she say?
You just scared me.
Not on my watch. What Von's say?
Not on my watch.
Not on my watch.
Yeah.
Right? And it's hard. Right? Yeah, I'm telling y'all, this took years of therapy, honey. But it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to say when people are like, no, you did some fucked up shit. Right? But to get beyond that, to be like, get to the point where it's like, I know you did the best you could with what you did.
So,
Period. Period, right? And just leave it. Like, and no judgment beyond that. Not, you should have. Nope. You did what you did. Great. Me as who I am now. This is how I'm moving. Period.
So, like while you was talking, like, also was just doing some thinking. And I think one of the things that I'm really just not looking forward to is that, you know how black folks are and wanting, rewards and shit, right? I took care of your daddy for all these years.
Thank you. That's the answer.
You wasn't here. And I'm like, but that's your brother as well.
No, the answer is thank you. Look.
No.
They go low. And what you do, Nero, as a grown man, thank you for taking care of my father. You're right. I wasn't here.
No. Fuck that.
I'm telling you, growth.
Thank you for taking care of your brother.
Look, Black Love Matters, family. Send Nero growth vibes. Because that's how you hit people in the throat, Nero. Still don't say all that. Thank you for taking care of my father. You're right. I wasn't here. What else is there to say?
Yeah.
And then you walk away. Thank you. I wasn't here. You don't got to say, well, that nigga want that back. Because that didn't take you to a space you don't want to be in. Right? No. Look, Von Zant done taught me the Von Zant, the Lord, and my therapist. Thank you. Thank you for taking care of him. You're right. I wasn't here.
Yeah.
And you don't got no explanation. No, none of that. No other explanation. Just like no is a complete sentence. That's a complete sentence.
That's a complete sentence. So, just more or less getting prepared for that, right? And the conversations and, the circumstances and the pumping circumstances, that's all, that's all going to happen.
Yeah.
With that.
Black, we as a culture, like we mourn.
Yeah.
We not new to this. We true to mourning.
Yeah.
And Niram the first one to tell everybody that everybody mourn different.
Everybody mourn different.
Let folk mourn there.
And then, also seeing like, stepbrothers and sisters, ain't nothing else up in there. Stepbrothers and sisters that, I haven't seen in a while, or we haven't had the best relationship either.
You know what to say? It's good to see you. I'm sad it's under the circumstances. Want me to give you cue cards, Niram?
Yes, please do.
It's great to see you, but not under these circumstances. I hope you're doing okay.
So, that's more or less like where my vibe is at and where my head is at, right? Yeah. And just more or less getting prepared for that. So, y'all send me good vibes.
Send Niram good vibes. Tell them we got them, right? You're going to get through it. My advice to Niram is to feel the feels and own only what you can own. And don't let them protect your peace.
But the way the way I'm set up,
I know it's hard for you.
Feel what? Like I
feel something.
Don't feel nothing right now.
I mean, that's what you and the therapist got to talk about. But you got to feel something. Being numb is a dangerous thing to be because you can't interpret the difference between pain and pleasure. And that then spirals in other situations in your life.
Mm-hmm.
That being numb is something that is very contagious, right? And so you try to compartmentalize just to the situation, but then it begins to trickle in other areas of your life. Mm-hmm. It's easy just to shut it off, right? But to feel something. It can be anger, resentment, hurt, sadness. It can be any of that, fear, any of that. But you got to feel it, right? Mm-hmm. If you don't feel anything, you can't grow through it. You can't move through it. You can't move on. I'm done. Child. Years, decades of therapy and talks with the Lord.
I hear you. You know, it's easier said than done.
This is not something that's going to happen in 4 hours. This is something that's going to take months, maybe even years to process. But know that you own that journey and give yourself grace too, right? Mm-hmm. And that's to anybody out there that's going through something, right? Give yourself some grace. And if you mess up, or if they go low and you go lower, give yourself the grace to start over and do better the next day. Mm-hmm. Right? You can always go high the next day. Give yourself some grace. Surround yourself around people who love you, and put one foot in front of the other and keep moving.
Yeah.
All right.
What?
Should I find Cotwell? It's very, it's snowing.
I thought you was looking for it.
I was looking for it's snowing. I'm like, oh my God, why is he bringing me so much joy?
Oh my God.
We almost could be friends. And let me see.
What you mean y'all almost could be friends?
We almost could be.
Good morning. Get up. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if it's snowing. Move. Get up and put on that burr. Get up and put on that mink. Take that wig off and put on the fur hat. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Good morning everyone. I couldn't wait. To make it snow.
Y'all can't see this picture? No, he's kissing at us.
Oh my God, the snow is coming down really bad right now.
I got before the end of this podcast, I'm gonna find a February, and I can't do it. All right, what are we gonna talk about? Little pillow talk, Nero?
Yeah, let's do some pillow talk.
All right, the thing I want to talk about briefly today is Black burnout. So you remember the article we talked about like millennial burnout and stuff like that?
Yeah.
But someone did a response. I think it's still within the BuzzFeed crew of the idea that Black burnout is a thing too. Okay. And it's slightly different than what was described. So I just wanted us to unpack that a little bit to see if you agree, disagree, see what we think about it. So some of the quotes from it is the idea that Black folks feel as if they're not allowed to be tired, right? So in this article, they decided to focus on Black millennials because our experiences are different. The stakes are higher and the challenges are unique. Because also a lot of folks just don't understand our plight. The author adds that 43% of all American millennials are non-white, but discussions about millennials and their ideas of success are often deeply rooted in the experience of like white privilege of men and women. In the article, the author described, think more when you think of burnout or millennials, you think of Lena Dunham instead of Issa Rae, instead of having both at the table. Mm-hmm. Also, the author went on to say that burnout is not a new concept. We just have new ways of describing it, or rather marketing it. The particular anxiety of our age. And something that stood out to me was that they were more so quoting the Fannie Lou Harner, who from the civil rights movie. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. I'm going to make sure I get it right. All my life, I've been sick and tired. Now I'm sick of being sick and tired. Mm-hmm. Right? And it got to the point to say, Black people, we've always been burnt out.
Yeah. Right?
And the only difference now is we talk about millennial burnout is because it's a new thing with white people.
Right.
Right? White people now feel this tension and this pull at a higher level than they've ever felt before. So now it's branded and it's marketed and it's something that's out there. But in actuality, is something that's always been there for us, right? Mm-hmm. I thought that was crazy. And I agree with it. In some other statistics they have, it's like this idea of burnout and how it's not just only emotionally taking a toll on us, but physically taking a toll on us, right? So we always laugh about Black don't crack, but the research shows that Black women are 7.5 years biologically older than white women. And you couple that with the raising Black maternity death rates, especially for Black academics. And I think we have a Black academic episode, right? I don't know any Black academic who looks young.
No.
Like, it ain't no black academic that you would see like, oh yeah, she bad, or yeah, he bad.
No.
They all look a little rugged and ran down. The men be having missing bald spots, hairline receded, right? And the ones who doing fabulous, they ain't teaching. They ain't doing research. They on the circuit.
Right. They on the TV.
Yeah, I was gonna say on the never mind. I'm gonna say on the chitlin circuit.
Oh.
Back it up.
Media circuit though.
The media circuit. It's on something, right? So I just thought it was just interesting. What do you think about that, Nara?
I think it's true, right? And that's the thing. Like, it's only a new phenomenon for whites because being white no longer puts you at an advantage these days because, when the middle class is gone and it's just the 1%, now they're looking around and say, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I'm starting to look like these niggas.
I'm
starting to move around like niggas.
Come on.
And I'm white. And I'm supposed to have more privilege than niggas.
Yeah.
I must be going through some burnout something.
Yeah. What's going on? Yeah.
There has to be something, a reason why me as a white person, I'm not doing better than niggers.
Oh, come on. Come on.
So let me call it burnout.
Yeah.
Because I'm just rolling and I'm running and the 1% is still going where, and there's no middle class, and the niggers they're
catching up.
They're catching up, and they're just the same as me.
Come on.
What the hell is going on?
Yeah, and then also the author talked about if they succeeded and pushed themselves harder, it increases their chances of fraying at the seams on a cellular level. Not only aging faster, they did a shout out to Obama talking about look at his before and after picture. That was the hardest 8 years of his life. He did hard time. And getting sick faster, but also increased the difficulty of conceiving and giving birth. All this while hurting faster towards death with more debit than any group in America. She says her therapist explains that burnout reminds us of our humanity. Exhaustion lets our bodies know that we're not machines. We need to slow down. Yet for millennials of color, not only do we have to combat endless emails and Slack notifications, but you also get strapped with having to prove your humanity inside and outside of the workplace, classroom, and all while navigating the tears of white women.
Right.
And I thought one of the other quotes, and I hope I'm not messing it up too much, but this author was like, all right, I've made it to, air quote, this nice job, right? This nice mid-level 6-figure job. But like my mother was a teacher. My grandmother was a housekeeper. Like her grandmother was a sharecropper and her mother was a slave. I was born burnt out. Mm-hmm. Right? Like and that even goes to speak to epigenetics, right? So the idea, epigenetics is the idea that trauma is passed down through genes, right? So our human genome is made up of all these, how do you explain it? Like DNA, right? And a lot of times before epigenetics came around, it was called like junk DNA. Like folks really didn't know what it did. But some folks discovered that DNA actually is able to carry like historical trauma from generations, right? So the fact is, like, from our ancestors who were slaves and on the transatlantic passage, right, their trauma still lives within us, period, right? In some way that's proven is the idea, like, even with blacks having the higher rate of, like, high blood pressure, right? The idea is that it's coming through the transatlantic passage and not getting enough water, and some of them have to drink salt water. Like, all that stuff was passed down in our genes, right? So it's trauma existing with us that we don't even know, that's just dormant until it's triggered by something.
Yeah.
Woo-wee!
I think another thing, to also look at is that, in this culture, like hustle porn is like a new thing now. Like,
what
right?
you mean hustle porn?
You know, the memes, we got to stay up all night, no sleep until success, all this other shit in it.
Why?
It's just perpetuating the same thing of what we're going through now.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. It's like hustle porn. Like, this is like the new thing, especially like these new, gurus, motivational speakers.
Andrew Caldwell telling me to get some sleep and wear fur coats. Okay, I'm just like,
all these motivational speakers, work hard, outwork other niggas, when you sleep, somebody else working.
Sleep is for the dead.
Right. You sleep when you die. Well, nigga, you got high blood pressure.
If you don't sleep. What? You said that's a side effect. If you don't sleep, you do die, my nigga.
Right.
Your brain is literally eating itself.
So I think, it is a thing, right? And then for us black folks, it's always the same adage, right?
It's just something that hit me that said we were born burnt out.
Yeah.
Your grandmother was, a sharecropper, a housekeeper, a slave, right? We still got the point where we can trace back to the slave lineage. White folks try to do that too, right? To make us think like it's so far disconnected. It's not that far disconnected generationally, right? Even if we're talking about to the 60s, right? That's still only one generation, maybe a generation away and a half, right? That we literally just got like our right to vote and shit, right? Like, they're acting like we just have had these things for hundreds of years, right? This shit is new. And just the expectations is ridiculous. The expectations is ridiculous. Yeah. And we still after all that, after that, still moving forward.
You still got to fight.
But again, we'll link that article. So if y'all want to read it, but I just wanted to bring it kind of more on the forefront that they did do a formal response to it. I know we talked a little bit about it when we did the millennial burnout, but I think this person did it much more better than we did, and it's a way to acknowledge it, right?
Yeah.
All right, I know it's Shout Out Friday now, but before we get to that, can we talk a little bit about 13 Days of Black Love?
Yes, we can.
All right, you want to start?
No, I'm gonna let you start.
So this idea of 13 Days of Black Love, right? So y'all know it's February, it's Black History Month. Y'all know Valentine's Day on the 14th, but in our community, we celebrate Black Love Day. That's February 13th. And we thought it would be fun to just do some random acts of kindness towards like Black love and Black culture leading up to February 13th. So y'all feel free to join us as we're doing these random acts of kindness, random acts of Black love. Through these next 13 days. What we'll do, we'll share with you all the list that we're doing each day. So each day we kind of have a thing that you should do or kind of do. Feel free to tweak it any way you want. This is just something Niram and I are doing just to kind of tweak it a little different, because we really don't, Niram and I, believe it or not, we don't exchange a lot of gifts.
No.
In Black Love, like, we always make time for each other, but we were like, what gift could we give each other? And we kept going back, like, what if we just did like special things for each other leading up to Black Love Day? And was like, we can share that with the podcast, right? And when we check in on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we can let y'all know how it went for us. But what we'll do, we'll share these things that we're doing every day. We'll share what we're doing, and y'all do it too, and let us know how it goes. But I just thought it's just a nice, not retaliation, but just a nice display of Black love and a nice form of resilience, in a nice form, like a way just to step back, right? And just be like, no, let me get back centered, right? Let me get grounded. Right. You have anything to add to that, Niram?
I think another thing is that this is almost like the Black version on the Advent calendar. Right?
Oh, yeah, that's true. I didn't think about it like that.
Is that, with Christmas and all that stuff, we're just trying to create some culture for, not even culture, but like traditions for us, right? Because I feel like when it came to Christmas season, like, we're always falling within like traditions of the other folks, and we also got Kwanzaa, but I feel like this is something that you can create and make your own, and you do what you want to do with it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so what I'll do, I'll go down the list and read all 13, and what we'll do, we'll somehow put this up on our social media or something, Nira.
Yeah.
Probably sometime this weekend, or
yeah.
We'll list. Y'all get it.
Y'all figure it out.
We'll get it.
It'll be on IG.
Y'all see it. So today, February 1st, the first day of Random Acts of Black Love is to reconnect or call someone you haven't talked to. So. Well, we haven't completed the day. You have an idea who you're going to talk to now? It's actually someone I want to recommend that you talk to.
Who is that?
Our boy in Atlanta. I won't say his name.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was thinking.
All right.
That we both could call.
Okay.
And check in and see. You know what I'm talking about? I don't want to put him on blast on podcast.
He probably listening.
Well, that's why I think we can call and just have a good conversation, because his energy, his love, his spirit just always radiates.
Yeah.
Right. Even like if it's been months we haven't talked, right, I still reflect on the things that we talk about, and just to say, what's up? How are you? Yeah. So I think that's what we're going to do. Okay. So Monday we'll report back. The second day, February 2nd, is support a small a Black I shouldn't say small, that's shady. Support a Black restaurant and or business. So that can be like food, takeout, Etsy, and what we'll put out which one we're gonna support. Shout out to Fancy Success if y'all trying to get them wisdom first.
Or shout out to the Black Love Matters.
Shout out to the Black Love store. To the Black Love Matters merch store. We'll put on Instagram what we're doing to support it, but do that. The third is write a love or an encouragement letter. So if you got you a boo in your life, go ahead and write a love letter. Like, when was the last time you wrote a love letter to me? Had to be undergrad.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I had to be maybe grad school. I wrote you a love letter. No.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. And I say encouragement. So say if you're not in a romantic relationship, it's okay to write an encouraging letter to somebody, right? This can be your best friend. It can be a colleague, somebody who just needs words of encouragement or appreciation. On the 4th, the idea is to take care of yourself. So do an act of kindness for yourself, whatever that may look like. On the 5th, we want you to call your parent and or an elder that has had a positive influence on you and share your appreciation. I know, like, some parents aren't with us, or, some folks don't have the relationship with their parents. Just an elder, right? Anyone, right. And you define elder, right? Like, that just has had just a positive influence on you. The 6th is kind of the opposite. Call a young person that has either had a positive influence on you or you would like to have a positive influence on them. Like, I think that's big, right? So that means you got to get track of these babies. And, I don't even know if the kids know how to use a phone. So you might have to text them.
You might have to FaceTime.
This them. Hello? You have to end the story, and they're going to be strange, and they ain't going to know. The elders going to appreciate this. But the young people going to be like, okay. But just to say, like, I'm here for you. I see you. Anything.
Even if they don't answer the phone, you can still have a conversation with them since the FaceTime hack is going out.
What? Oh, you're right. That Facebook hack is out, y'all.
That FaceTime hack.
FaceTime, yeah. I said I'm old.
That bug that's out where, you can still listen to people even if they don't answer the phone when you FaceTime them.
Oh, that's deadly. So that's the 6th. We want you to reach out to a young person that has inspired you or influenced you, or you hope to inspire or influence them. On the 7th, that's a free space bonus. Do whatever you want. Anything you think represents Black love, do it. That could be listening to a podcast. You can do another self-care day. You can go back and repeat, do something different, do something that's already been done or is coming up, or you can just create something, anything, right? Affirmations, read a Black love book, read some poems, all of that stuff. Next, the 8th is donate to a charity. That can be through clothes, household items, food, time, or money.
Or Bennett College.
Or Bennett College. Can we just hone in? Can y'all just everyone give $3 to Bennett? Because it's too much. The 9th, have a dance party at home. So create a playlist, and what Niram and I will do, we'll share our playlist. Depends on what your mood is. If it's you and your boo, you can get all the R&B. What is the golden era?
Yeah, the
R&B.
golden age and R&B.
If you by yourself and enjoying it, we can give you the best Don't Stop, Pop That, Make That Booty Pop, right?
992-2000.
Yeah, you can do that. Next is find opportunities to give compliments. So it costs nothing to take time just to make someone's day good. So as you go around and you see people, intentionally try to find ways to compliment them. On the 11th, buy or make a small gift for someone just because. So again, don't break the bank. It costs $1. You can make something. If you make a bomb, sour cream, what's it called? Pound cake. And someone so love it, make that sour cream pound cake and just drop it off at them.
Niram loves peach cobbler.
And do it just because. The 12th is a day of Black literature or Black cinema or Black, just, how do you explain it?
The Black arts.
The Black arts. So you define that as which way you see it, right? So see a Black love movie, read a book about Black love, or find a book, honey, read a poem about Black love, go to a museum about Black history. It's just something, embrace it that way. And then on Black Love Day, of course, tell someone that you love them. And so, again, each time we come, we'll kind of break down what we've done, what we're doing. Check our social media to stay, to keep up to date on all these types of things. But it's meant to be quick, right? None of these things should take hours. It shouldn't take a lot of planning. Like, it really should be something that, the first 15-20 minutes of your day you can plan out, and it's just a step forward, just to display Black love and spread Black love all around. So 13 days of Black love. Get
13
excited,
days
y'all.
of Black love, y'all.
Hopefully we'll make a tradition. If you niggas love it, we can maybe make it something big, right? But if not, Niram and Nyambi gonna do it.
Right. Just gonna tell y'all niggas.
All right, we got some shout out Friday, Niram.
Yeah, let's do some shout out Friday. So as always, if you leave a 5-star rating review on Apple Podcasts or Stitcher, we read it on air and we shout you out. And we also got some emails And I think we also got some voicemails too.
Whoa.
I need to get my phone out for that.
You need to get it up.
Yeah. So let's start off with Apple Podcasts. So the first one says, cheers to your review and ratings goal from It's Ashley. And it says, you two are a vibe and so much fun to listen to. Thank you. We appreciate it. It's Ashley.
What's the name?
It's Ashley.
Oh, they said it's Ashley. He ran that together, huh?
Oh.
Near been running his words together today.
Yeah, I have. I don't know. I must be tired.
Mm-hmm.
The second one says, my long distant favorite cousins from D Nigerian 1992.
Shout out to Nigeria. Shout out to my Nigerians.
And it says, I love your podcast. I started listening one random day while I was washing dishes. I knew it was real love when I started crying at work from the way Nyambi, I hope that's
You
right.
did,
Would give great anecdotes from her box store days, or not, or Niram would say, "Is your living in vain?" LOL, man, y'all just don't know how much I love this podcast. I done took y'all with me from the Midwest to H-Town.
Right.
Please keep the content going.
Thank you. We will.
You can read the next one, baby.
The next one says podcast blessing by Miss Purple D. And it says, hey, Niram and Nyambi, I love your podcast. I've been listening for over a year, and your podcast is one of the delights of my day. The way that you two interact with each other is a beautiful thing. Keep the love growing. I love you for other reasons as well. For the past 18 months, I have been a caregiver for my ailing mother. As her health declined, I decided to find ways to bring joy into my days. My mother was the kindest person in the world, suffered from dementia, and towards the end, I became a target of mean words and actions. Yeah, as a result of her illness. Yeah, that's definitely one of the kind of side effects of it. During times when she wanted to have no interactions with me, I took on the role of Niram.
Gotta be that Niram.
Her new caregiver. She was always so kind to Niram, and this allowed us to have some really special moments together. Mom transitioned to heaven in October, but I will never forget those special times, even if I had to pretend to be someone else. Thank you both again, and continue to enlighten our community. Love, Miss D, a faithful listener from NoCal. Oh, you from out here?
Oh.
It says, P.S. Nyambi, continue to love the Lord, and He will continue to bless you too. I will. I'm sorry that your mother passed away. Dementia and Alzheimer's is
Ain't no joke.
and it's like on the rise in the African American community too.
Yeah,
like, right. It's so hard, and we might have to have an episode about caregivers. Like it's hard to be a caregiver.
It is.
Right? Like it's almost
hard.
taboo. Like when folks become parents and like new parents are scared to be like, it's hard as fuck to be a parent. And sometimes I don't fucking like my kids. Right? I feel like caregivers have that same taboo to be like, of course I love who I'm caring for, but this shit is hard as hell.
It is.
And I don't like doing it every day. Right? Like it's just that isolation I can only imagine. So shout out to you for doing that, sis, and sending you good energy too.
Yeah. The next one says, I hate titles, sorry, from this is Tamari 55, and it says, hey big bro and sis, love the show. It's great. I finally found a podcast about black love that even though I'm a little younger, 29, I relate.
You can be in the box. You'll be in the check box this year.
Right.
We'll welcome you.
Welcome
to the club.
Welcome. Me being from Chicago and going to school in the D.
Yeah.
The Mac McKenzie.
Oh, not the Mac, honey. Is that still open?
Oh, man.
I don't know if the McKenzie's still open, honey.
Mac McKenzie.
Shout out to Detroit people. I think they shut down McKenzie, Cooley. Is Cody still open? I think they shut all of them. Only schools open is MLK, Renaissance, and Cass.
Just to hear two people that I feel that know what they're talking about, things that I care about, and I appreciate it, and I appreciate you too. And this won't be the last you'll hear from me. Love you guys, and thanks.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead and read that email, baby.
All right. The subject is episode 218. It says, hey, Midwest fam, this is great info on house buying. We're currently thinking of buying a home within the next year or so. What comes to mind as we prepare for Sanford a home is savings in general. Yeah. What advice do you guys have for developing savings for all of the 100 things to save? For example, emergency fund, down payment, house, retirement, college fund, personal saving. The shit is ever growing. Also, I was trying to upload my love story, but I didn't know how to upload our pic, and it won't let me submit without it. Oh, Nero!
I'll fix that. But you can email it to us too, blacklovematters at gmail.com.
I mean, we can give some tips on savings. I think what helped me was actually creating a monthly budget, and having like line items for stuff. But if you don't want to get that in the woods and because it's actually a family on YouTube. It's like this black woman, this white man who does an excellent job.
Yeah.
What's their name of it's like called a whole family. Where's my phone at? Did I send it to you, Niram? Can you see I sent it to you? There's this black girl and white guy. They're like a family. They do excellent job of like breaking down budgets. Like if you're looking for Excel files, how much you should save and all that good stuff. But honestly, my biggest tip is to have separate accounts. Right before, I was trying to have all these accounts like together and like keeping things separate, but like having separate accounts for everything you need. And an easy way to do that is, of course, you should have your accounts with the big banks, but also get like a credit union account for like some of this other stuff, right? Because you're able to open up accounts. Once you open up the first checking and savings account, you literally can open up accounts from your couch with $1 by transferring funds. And once you have your budget, right, you can automatically have stuff just go into accounts. And instead of having stuff just go into accounts, like you don't have to do a hard number. You can even do percentages, right? So I'm not sure if like your salary and you get the same thing every week, you can do dollar amount. But if it's not, you can actually have a percentage wise. And that's something that really helped me. And I know it's weird, right? Because I don't come from necessarily the school of rock where you be having 5, 6, 7, 8 accounts, because it's like, what the hell? How do I keep track of all this, right? But if you're able to already have it automatically set up and do it and like paying yourself first, I think it makes it easier because you don't see it or touch it. Yeah. What you think, Nero?
I agree too. I love my money lives in buckets.
Yeah.
And I have accounts specifically for certain things. Like I have a bill pay account there. All my bills come from that account, you know, the ball out account. Like all the things I want to ball out from comes from the account. And when that money's gone, guess what?
It can't ball out.
I can't ball out.
Yeah. But as you're preparing, like when we had a home, we had an emergency. Our emergency account was separate from like our house.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's kind of annoying.
It is.
Because you got to have so many damn accounts.
Yeah.
And so many damn different debit
cards.
That's
why I said do a credit union.
Yeah.
Because it's easier to keep that separate than the kind of the big banks. Credit unions usually don't charge you anything.
Like it's hard because you have so many accounts and different debit cards.
Because the thing, you really shouldn't be using those debit cards, right? You don't want to have access. A lot of times I get those debit cards, I just throw them in my safe. I put a little permanent marker on what it is on the back, like write out what it is on the front, and then I just throw them in my safe because you shouldn't be swiping no cards.
Right. And I think that was another way on how I like automated like my bills and stuff. So when it came to like the stuff that I know is going to be the same every month, I just put it on auto pay. Like heat gonna be whatever heat gonna be.
Yeah.
And electric gonna be whatever electric gonna be.
Yeah.
And instead of me like looking at it and put it in, like put it on auto pay, look at the number, make sure, you know, it looks somewhat decent, and then move on with your life.
Yeah. But I think the multiple accounts and having it set up automatic deposits was something that was passive, but it did it when it was in the background. Because I think savings get hard if you're not on it, right? Like if you have a rough month or something happens, no, it's good if it's just automatically done. You want to get your saving, your financials in a place where it's almost automatic. It automatically happens. You don't want it something that fluctuates month to month.
And another
thing, you're not ready to have a house or own a house or buy a house if you're at the point where you're like, well, let me inch this money to go over here to rob Peter, then I'm going to pay Mike. You don't want, if you're doing that, you ain't in the space.
Right. And another thing is, you know, a couple other things. You might have to get a second job, right? And put that second part-time job money towards savings. Like, you don't even see it.
You have to savings stacked up.
You know, you don't even see that money. And then another thing, you might have to cut some shit off.
Yeah.
You know, you might have to live without cable.
Yeah. Well, we've been cable cutters. Ain't nothing wrong with that. We can save a good $100 a month on that.
Right, and get some passwords.
Yeah, I don't see how. We should get some passwords. No, I mean, even if you have Hulu and Netflix paying what is that, $15 compared to $100 and something dollars, that's a huge savings.
It is.
Yeah. But do you have the name of the family, or unless you want to say something?
It's called I think it's called One Big Happy Life.
So if you go to One Big Happy Life on YouTube, it's this black girl, that's why I trust her, and her husband white. But look at all their like finance stuff. Like they go in deep, they go ham.
Yeah.
They go in like they make yearly budgets. Like I'm talking about a monthly budget. They make yearly budgets and set yearly goals for how much money they making and how much money they save. Like I strive to get to that point maybe the next 2 to 3 years, but the way that my depression and anxiety set up, and I still get a little bit of this hood rich out of me. I'm not ready, but I'm going to get to that level. Mm-hmm. It's sickening, right? Like I watch their videos as inspiration, and I take some of their tips too, but I just can't do it all. But no, they're going to be on 1,000.
Yeah. And the video you was talking about said our 2019 budget with real numbers, how to budget your money.
Yeah. So say it again there. So what's the name of the YouTube channel? What's the name of the video they should watch?
The YouTube channel is One Big Happy Life, and the name of the video is our 2019 budget with real numbers.
Yeah, they don't play.
Budget money.
They don't play.
Yeah.
And I will say I use a pseudo template of what they do. I probably do 50% of what they do.
Yeah, it's a beast.
It's a beast, but it's good, right? I want to strive to that point. Like by 2021, I want to be on that level. To be like, this is the budget for the fucking year. Like they have down almost to the penny.
Yeah.
How much money coming in, to the point where they're even estimating their bonuses.
Yeah.
Ciao. Nope. It's inspiring though. Mm-hmm. Right? In the way they're able to move chunks of money. Right? Like these are folks who buy new cars and pay them off in like 18 months.
Yikes.
Help me, I'm poor.
I am poor.
And do I do good rich things, right? Well, I'm not even thinking. Never mind. This is a different episode.
So we got one from Elena.
Oh my God. She's going to come for your throat. Go ahead.
Fight me.
Okay.
And she just says comments. She says, hey, y'all, just wanted to say hello.
I know. I ain't heard. We ain't heard from you.
Let you know that I do not miss an episode. Thank you. I love your podcast, your personalities, and your black love. It is so true and genuine. Anyways, regarding Fox fake news advertising that RBG was dead, that's like the devil trying to play tricks on her. We ain't going.
Exactly.
The power of God
thank you.
is greater, and she will not die soon. Kick rocks, Fox. We rebuke you.
I bet a lot of people I be praying for RBG. We can't have RBG going nowhere, honey. Mm-hmm. Oh, every time her name come in the news, I hold my breath. The next one is from Toy. It's episode 217. It says, what the fuck is going on with MLK Day? It says, hey, it's Toy again. So my son just turned 8 and I'm woke. LOL. I want to teach my son about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. My office doesn't allow us to take off MLK Day. So I thought, okay, I'll let Nate watch a few MLK movies documentary to give him a little introduction since I don't have time to take him to the museum and stuff. I looked on both Netflix and Hulu. They have nothing on there about MLK. I'm like, where's Selma? Lord, Selma, etc. Anything. Not one thing. They thought, then I thought BET better have something. I go look on their schedule and all they had was a Martin marathon and a Medea Meet the Browns marathons. What the fuck? BET should have a marathon of MLK movies and documentaries all day on MLK. There wouldn't be a BET without MLK Jr. BET is hot trash. That's true. BET ain't even have nothing.
No, they didn't.
Remember, they didn't because we was just watching our own movies, weren't we?
Yeah.
That's true. I'm like, how did we watch it? Because we own them. We had to just buy them. That's sad. I didn't even think about that, Nero. Mm-hmm. Sis right. Toy is right. Anywho, we live in Atlanta, so I'm going to take them to the museums and stuff this weekend. But she right.
No eyes on the prize. Not even Selma. Selma recently just came out.
Selma should be on Netflix and Hulu. And as many Netflix are quick to do a documentary about sorry ass white parents. Did y'all see that Abducted in Plain Sight?
When that girl got abducted twice by the same people?
The white woman, the young girl, I feel sorry for, got abducted twice by the same neighbor. And the neighbor who abducted the girl fucked the mama and the daddy. Well, he said the daddy just jacked him off. He did more. What the fuck is going on here?
That's some manipulative ass shit.
What the fuck is going on here? And they can't have one MLK? Or what's wrong with these white women losing their mind over these Ted Bundy tapes? Talking about he handsome. Bitch, he's a killer. What do you mean he's handsome? Ted Bundy is a sociopath or a psycho. I don't know which one's appropriate. He's a killer. And we ain't talking about your average run-of-the-mill killer. We talking about a killer with an A. Hannibal Lecter, like he's crazy. Talking about he handsome. Bitch, really? They must be they must be the offspring of these bitches who be on Loved After Lockup. What's wrong? I don't care how nice his eyes look, blue his eyes is. I'll be terrified. But no, Toy right. BET should have had a marathon. BET Centric, VH1 Soul.
Something, right?
Lifetime, sometimes Lifetime do that. Lifetime should have did something. PBS should have been nothing but Black History stuff. Actually, Black History Month, I need to see what's coming on PBS. Usually PBS do some type of documentary because last year they did the Vanguard one with the Black Panthers.
Yeah. My go-to is always Eyes on the Prize.
Yeah, we be watching the same movie.
Just Eyes on the Prize.
Eyes on the prize. We ain't gonna do this. But no, Toy right.
She is. You right.
Because there's so many. Like her baby only 8, so he ain't seen nothing. Right? He should have at least 4 weeks of.
Because they ain't teaching that shit in school.
He ain't watching none of that in school. So he should have. He should get as much screen time as he want in February.
Right.
Because we had to watch all the Black movies in the docuseries.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm. What's that what was that documentary about the people? Was it in Philly that had that house and everybody had that last name Africa and the government blown up their house?
Yeah, that was a good one too. Maybe we need to share some of these stuffs. Share the stuff on Instagram, just things to watch.
Yeah,
because there's plenty of good stuff out there.
Damn, I forgot. Ndifa, what's the name of that one?
Yeah, I forgot.
All right, voicemails.
All right,
let's see.
All right, you got it turned up?
Yeah, I got it turned up, baby.
Good evening. This is Kenny P. who's calling.
Oh, who's that?
I live in Washington, D.C. Are you doing any, I want to say lock and key?
What?
Or maybe like a meet and greet?
Oh,
The lock
Black singles, professional singles,
hey.
veterans, police officers, security officers, PI, investigators, anybody that's law enforcement or corporate, say like executive protection.
What?
Anyway, in Washington, D.C. or you have do it on the podcast or the radio.
Okay.
Or maybe on live on Facebook, I don't know. But anyway, give me a call back.
Oh, wait. You putting your phone number out?
Okay. I think his voice threw me off.
Oh, yeah.
He was talking to me like he picked up the phone. Remember them late night? He was talking to me like he was on blackpeoplemeet.com. I thought he was about to ask us, do we want to be swingers? No, I think he asked, are we doing like any meetups or like are we going to do any like dating events? Or I would love to do something like that eventually. I don't know when it's going to happen, right? Or like setting y'all up. But y'all don't come to me if y'all be meeting fuck niggas. Like don't be like, nah, I met him on Black Love Matters and that nigga didn't care about black love. But I think eventually the growth to that, bruh. So no, keep looking. And I think he meant like professional, young black professionals.
Oh, okay.
But some of the professions he was naming.
I was like, oh.
Got a little, because he was like, PI, look, private investigator? Who are you?
Right.
Do you work for the feds?
Are you the feds?
Feds?
I'm not who you say I am.
Who is you?
Oh my God! All right, let's see.
But that's what I'm taking the gist. So yes, we want to manifest that and hopefully get to that point. So thank you for the call.
Let's see.
Oh, Niram about to hit the delete button. I said, Niram, he ain't saying nothing derogatory.
Oh,
Niram and Naomi.
Hey.
Checking in from the.
Uh-oh.
I just wanted to call and let Naomi know that her and these children, she got to cancel that. All that. Them kids sound crazy, child.
That is. They is
Oh,
crazy.
shit.
They are.
Niam, I like the service. The service is nice. It's cool, but it's okay. It's all right. I liked it.
I love us for real.
So what's gonna happen now that we did the survey? Like, I just want to know. Like, I'm anxious now. 'Cause
You got to do a follow-up.
DMV are waiting for you all to come.
Yes.
Like, we tired of this now. We got the government.
You said the government done shut down.
yeah, man, shut down.
To be working for the federal government and getting paid. I work at the United States Postal Service, so we are still getting paid. People don't realize that the post office is really a private industry, even though they are their federal holidays.
Oh,
So for all of the people that are furloughed, please apply because we are hiring, and that way, if this ever happens again, which I pray it does not, you all are more than welcome to come and join the blue team. There are some bad apples.
The blue
Packages
team.
be missing. I understand all that. But yes, I really do feel sorry.
yeah.
Everybody out here. And if there's anybody in the DMV that needs any information or anything, I got it all. I can help you out. I can be the pinpoint person here in the district to help you all out. So that's all I have to say about that.
I didn't know the post office was private.
Yeah. Oh, I was about to say, give us some criminal information, but never mind.
This is a voice. No, but Niram, are you going? I know you didn't mention that. Were you working this weekend on going through all the data?
Yeah.
For the survey.
So 88 people responded.
Thank you. And we gotta select who we're gonna send gifts to.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pick some random people.
Yeah.
If 12 more people want to go ahead and do that survey,
to make it 100.
Help me with a whole nice round.
You only got a little bit of time, honey, because that's now I'm be looking at it this weekend. I can't go back after this weekend.
All right, so go ahead and get that done.
Yeah.
She left another voicemail too.
Okay.
Okay, it's Amber, and I'm back again. New subject. Okay, so poor baby Mabel, she done lost her mind. She got the spirit of Desi. What y'all gonna do with her? I'm gonna keep praying for her. Oh, it's Amber. Did I already say that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep praying for her. I'm praying for y'all and y'all fur baby because she seems to be giving y'all some underlying messages that y'all shouldn't have gotten from Desi. No shade. Naomi, you were talking about that little white man that got all these black people dying in his house. Honey, there's a video of another man that survived. He got the white man on video talking about the drugs and everything. First of all this shit is crazy.
Yes.
That's all I'm going to say. The shit is fucking crazy. It's out of control. Why is anybody black going to anybody's white house? We don't step foot in none of them people's houses. Jesus Christ. What else do I got to talk about? That's all I can think of because that disturbed the hell out of me.
Ain't it?
Wall, child.
Ain't it?
Fuck that wall. That wall ain't doing nothing but blocking off Mexico. The people about to be floating over to Florida.
Come on.
So the shit don't even make a difference.
Nope.
I don't know why. In the last episode, what I was listening to, the lady said that the manager was talking to her about the wall. Honey, all she had to do was put her hand up and say, "No political talk, please. Thank you, bitch." That's what the fuck I would have said. Anywho, I love you all. I'm going to make sure I leave all reviews from everybody's phone because I'm working on that. We're going to get y'all 2,000.
Thank you.
Whatever number y'all talking about. I got you. Peace and love.
Appreciate it.
Whatever number is anything to get Niram to shut the hell up.
Hey, Niram is hustling.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you. No, right. Points valid all around. And you know what? The post office always do be hiring. And you never hear about the post office laying nobody off.
Mm-mm. Them packages always got to get delivered.
Neither do I ever. I don't remember the last time I've been to a post office and they've been in line.
Well, you must ain't been out here then.
It don't be lines.
No, them lines be long as
That's what I
hell.
said. And it hasn't been a line. Like, it's always a line. It's always a line at the dollar store and the post office. God damn. Like, are they hiring? Do they need more staff here? So that is a good little side hustle. Y'all do part-time? Look, maybe I can give up the, no, I need the flexibility of the daycare because I can just be like, I ain't come to watch your kid. I feel like the post office, if I quit there, I ain't going to get no more jobs.
Right. They abandoning your ass. Next voicemail. Let's see here.
Hey, Niram. Hey, Niram. Oh, my God.
Oh, what?
You gotta back your car up.
What?
You talking to somebody else?
Yeah. Said back your car up.
I love us for real.
Hey.
Oh.
Back your car up.
Did she forget she was leaving the
I
message?
am so sorry.
Did she hang up?
I think so.
You could have kept going. That's just like when you on phone with friends and they got kids. Sit your ass down.
She called back though.
Look, shut up.
Yeah.
Hello, you there?
Not the voicemail I want to leave.
Oh. Oh shit. You gotta back your car up. Hold up. She called back.
Okay. Maybe we don't like us making noise.
Okay. I am so sorry about that previous message, but hello again. We're in Miami. My name is Tanaja. I'm calling from Houston, Texas. I I guess I'm kind of catching up on y'all, and I really, really like the way the show was going, and I wish y'all nothing but peace and blessings and abundance and finances, if you will. But I wanted to talk about, again, on this whole R. Kelly situation. Did y'all hear Erykah Badu? Basically was like, if the things that these women are saying is
Oh yeah, I seen that stupid ass shit.
I just want him to come forward so we can work on healing. And I'm like, well, girl,
he did that shit.
Forgiveness and healing can't really happen if the person who's causing all the pain don't really feel sorry about none of it. Like, I honestly don't believe the man think he doing nothing wrong. So,
yeah, Erykah always been on.
But you know what? It's not even her first time saying something problematic about, like, towards women. Because remember, she had said that thing about the teens and how if young girls was dressed in a certain kind of way, then they wouldn't be attracting attention. I'm like, well, rapists are gonna rape regardless of what girls got on. I think that's been proven when men raping these women in their hajib, or however you pronounce that word. I don't know. What I think about Erykah Badu and her idea about that. Also, this is not related. This is just my own personal thing. Like, working for a company, I do that shit.
Oh wait, I think that stopped. I think she had it sent. She called back.
Okay, but the Erykah Badu thing, y'all know Erykah always been, she sniff a lot of patchouli.
Anybody who support R. Kelly is trash.
Yeah, like, it ain't forgivable, Erykah. No,
okay,
Erykah, he did it.
Sinatra. I think I'm going to scratch their last topic. But anyway, hopefully y'all hear the second voicemail that I left and you play it, and, we could, y'all kind of address that a little bit. But, yeah, I really, really like y'all show. I was looking for the earlier episodes because I want to say when I get on Apple, it's only, like, as far as I can go down. I can start playing it.
I love us.
I can't go past, let's see, how many y'all got on there?
I love how she's looking. We can look on our website, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so y'all earliest episode that you had was 120. So is there another location that I can find the earlier episodes? Because I've been binge listening to all of y'all stuff while I'm at work at this crazy job for these white folks and these people who wish they were white. So yeah, that really helped me get through the day because y'all keep me grounded in my blackness. But anyway, just if y'all have somewhere else that I could go listen to y'all earlier episodes before 120, please let me know. I'll be listening out for that. And then also, like, let's talk about Sister Erykah Badu because she really be letting me down, child. But all right, y'all have a good one.
Erykah Badu did. Love you
Keep
too.
up the good work. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. She said, that Erykah, like, first of all, Erykah always been, like, I love Queen Badu music, and I do think she's a legend in our community, but I don't know. When we talking about, like, men and her track, I don't know, right? Any man who been Erykah Badu ain't been
right. I've been waiting on Andre 3000 to come out with a whole nother album, but this nigga done damn retired.
I don't know where he went, honey.
Meanwhile, this nigga be in Lake Merritt in Oakland, just be chilling in a lawn chair and
I be trying to catch him. Is that you 3 stats? But no, Erykah wrong for that. She should have kept her mouth shut. Even if she felt that way, she should have kept her mouth shut. And even her, like, and I think she came back and changed it, right? And was like, oh no, he need to be held accountable. That's not what you said. You was talking about if, maybe, allegedly. Ain't none of this shit is if, maybe, allegedly. He did what the fuck he did. And from what I've seen, he's not had any remorse about it. No. And that's a fucking problem.
Showless.
Period.
You can find the rest of our podcast episodes on our website, blackleftmatters.com. That's Black with no K. It's the reason how, like, Apple Podcasts is, like, I think they only let you have like the most recent 100 or 150, I can't remember, and then they start like truncating it, like it not having it on there. So check the website. The website will have all of them there.
What's the website?
Black Love Matters .com. That's Black with no K. SoundCloud might even have them as well. I'm not sure. But I would say the website is probably your best bet if you want to check out like the first episode on. Alrighty, we got some more voicemails.
Oh, we got more voicemails.
Yeah, baby.
Folks was ready for them voice. One day the phone was ringing a lot.
Yes, you don't remember that? And he was like, pick up the phone, tell Shan call back. Let's see. Who's this? All right.
Come on, Nero.
You know, Sky got to do better about these voicemails.
Hey, Nero and I'm B. So I was just listening to, I just finished the last episode, and I just had some extra time in my hands, and I started this Trigger Mike shit. I'm like, what? I am literally at minute 7:33, and this man is trying to look for weed, and then he goes, I'm going to my favorite place, which is the strip club. That's the problem with the community right there. That's the problem. You're looking for weed, and you're at the strip club. Oh, Lord, Chile, the ghetto. The niggatry of this. It's
Trigger
just the
warning.
niggatry of niggerdom. Like, let me finish this, but I had to just pause this and let y'all know this. Oh, this is Carlos Gillett, by the way.
I
This
know who
is
you
just the
are.
niggotry. I can't. I agree with Naomi. I cannot.
Killer Mike is problematic. I don't care what y'all say. Like, you know, I still welcome in the Black Love Matters
Is he
community.
more problematic than Umar?
No, Umar's more problematic
Okay,
than
then.
Trigger Mike. But what's his name?
Killer
Mike. When I
Mike.
say Trigger Mike,
Trigger Mike. I heard his ass was on the Breakfast Club. Cause
I'm about to
somebody,
watch
I ain't seen the video yet, so we probably talk about that on Monday.
no, Umar been quiet lately.
Yeah, he better.
Yeah.
Carlo left another one.
Okay.
Left two more actually.
Okay.
Hold on. This is Carlos again. Did he just tell this bitch that she couldn't dance with him because he was Asian?
Yep.
And then he said that he's keeping the
Yep.
money in the black community at the strip club.
Yep.
None of that weed that they're going to use this money to buy is coming from a black-owned business.
That's his fancy
I don't
success.
think this is what that doesn't make sense because these women aren't going to use them a lot. They're not going to use that in the black community. They're going to go buy some Louis Vuitton and some weed, and that's definitely not black.
Nope.
Oh Lord, ooh, Chile. All right, well, I'm gonna finish this and leave y'all alone now. All right,
I
bye.
told y'all.
But it's the
thing
point, though,
is-
Carlos, that the
No.
money went from his black pocket to another black pocket. So at least it circulated once.
What on average, white people and Jewish people will circulates 8 times before it leaves. 8.
So he's trying to help.
Niggas got a quarter turn.
He's trying to help. He's contributing. He helped with one turn. Now, what she do with the money, that's her fault.
Be better stewards.
That's
of
the
your,
system.
Now it's a
That's
system.
the system.
Be better stewards of your money. That's what Carlos is saying. So be steward. So not only just invest in black business, but be a nice steward of your money and invest in black businesses that you know gonna do right.
Do strippers pay taxes?
Yeah.
Well,
We're not about to do this.
They're black business to me.
We're not about to do this. Yeah. All strippers pay taxes.
They contributing to society.
The work ain't honest, but it pays the bills.
It pays the bill, and they paying taxes.
And they pay taxes.
Hey, Carlos left another one.
Because Trigger Mike, that's his new name.
Trigger Mike.
Trigger.
What you about to say before I start this voicemail?
No, I was gonna say he right because Niram was having me like I was just hating on him, and Killer Mike is just I don't know what he be thinking in his word. That's why I say his wife is a saint because I couldn't imagine he talking that stupid shit to me daily. Like, I'm like, really? It'd be worse. I almost said it's almost worse than Marriage Boot Camp Hip Hop Edition.
He got a point.
Have y'all seen Marriage
If
Boot
y'all
Camp?
also look, if you're on 13 Days of Black Love and you can't find nowhere a business, a restaurant to give your black money to,
WeBuyBlack.com.
then go to a strip club and find a black stripper
No,
and tip
go
her
to WeBuyBlack.com
because she's still a black entrepreneur.
Jesus. Don't do that. You about to really ruin relationships. Because niggas gonna be like, well, black love matters. Let's support the business. And Niram going to the strip club. Don't let Niram get you fucked up. Because Niram ain't going to no strip club. Come on there. Come on.
So, okay, this is my last one. I promise. I'm on episode 2 of Trigger Warning, and he just told this poor little Mason white kid to hold on, and then his white privilege was showing. And then he turned to little black boy and said that he could never be president and to be practical. I can't.
Ain't it?
Abby, this is nonsense.
I
agree
told
with
you.
This is.
I told you.
Oh, I can't.
I I think the only.
Oh my goodness! All right, guys, I'm gonna leave you off real now.
I told you the only thing that got me when he stopped. Lisa laughing when he got that white boy together, but you know what I appreciated? How that white boy received it. He took that feedback better than any grown white man I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'll wait. You go." Right? A white man, white woman would lost their mind. A black person tell him that. Yeah. But it's like the young white boy was like, "Okay, it's not my turn. I shouldn't have went."
It's not my turn. Okay, I'll wait.
I appreciated that young white boy to say it. But he ain't told that black boy he ain't gonna be the president. Barack Obama was the president, and I know you knew, but he was black. Don't be telling these kids they can't be the president. You can't steal the hope, because hope is a powerful drug. That's what Obama taught me. 2008 taught me that hope is up there with cocaine.
Next voicemail.
Oh, it is. You don't think hope is cocaine?
No.
Shit. That's what we living off for 8 years. Hey, who this? They doing ASMR? They eating?
I don't know. Y'all good?
Yeah, listen to it. Make sure they don't ask for help. That's what me and my friends do. If you call you butt dialers, we still listen.
Yeah, you still listen
just
to
in case.
voicemail. Just in case you say help.
Yeah, we listen. We listen to the background. If we hear trains, anybody screaming.
Right.
Neil was telling me that because I've been butt dialing him a lot lately. And he I just stay on the line for all 3 minutes till it disconnect.
Just in case.
Just in case, right? Because you need that friend that, because you say hello I say hello maybe 2 or 3 times. I know it's quiet. Then you get quiet because you don't want your hello, because that's how you get killed. When you like hello, they're like, "What's that noise?" That's when you get quiet. I put mute on my end.
And just listen.
Because just in case I got to dial 911 in. And I be like, "Listen to it. We on mute." Ciao.
Hello, my friend. They called me. They not saying nothing. But there's a problem.
They on 3-way. Track whatever you got to do.
Triangulate them. Triangulate their ass.
Yeah, child.
Let's see, they left another voicemail.
Speaking of, is 911 back?
I don't know, baby.
I was going to say Empire.
If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't watch TV.
I think I got to see when 911 come back.
Okay, let's see. They called back again.
Okay, good. Let's listen. Make sure. Maybe it was a telemarketer.
Oh, and they still ain't said nothing.
Yeah, make sure they don't say. Make sure they need help.
Okay, it's still going. No, let's stop.
Okay, they don't need no help.
They don't need nothing.
That was just a mistake. We still got more voice.
Yeah, we still got.
Because we ain't have last week either.
No, let's see.
There, how many people don't call?
Tons of people, baby.
What?
People, yeah.
People showing out.
Who's this?
What you mean, who was this? Hit the play button, Nero.
All right. Damn. Some people really be knowing.
Hey.
Hey, girl.
I could even sit through that bullshit that I was hearing about him having an asset being one woman and having another woman that she sees and she's being okay with it. You can tell in her voice that she's still not okay with it.
No.
She's trying to convince everybody else that she's okay with it. I think boys come in all shapes and colors and ages, no matter how old you are. And it's fine for you to have a different idea about what marriage is, but I don't think it's fair to be with one person and then later on you convince somebody that you should include a third person in the mix. Or let alone, she's not a person, the extra woman is not a person for both of them. It's a person for just him. And I think that's very selfish. And a lot of people do that today. And they think that's okay. It's not okay. Come into the marriage saying, hey, you know what? We're going to be married, but I would like a third person. Say that shit. And then if she agrees to that shit, then fine. But don't convince this woman that's thinking it's just going to be you and her that you want to add in a girlfriend while you're married, while you're reaping the benefits of a marriage. I think that's very selfish. And I'm tired of males thinking like that shit is okay, that shit is cool. That shit is not cool.
It's not. That's why I had that twisted feeling about it, right? Like I'm with Shan, right? It's okay if that was an agreement that he and B had right? He had like you know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't know what their relationship was, right? Maybe this is something she said, but I would argue, when did she say it, right? Because dementia and Alzheimer's can have an effect on your mood, all that stuff, right? And that's what feels a little icky to me. Okay. That I'm not sure if, and maybe he's not sharing that part. I'm not sure, but it just didn't seem explicit that was the commitment that they made in the relationship. And it seems like he wouldn't have had his other woman to, get it in.
What's wrong with that?
Because you're married, Nero. What do you mean? What's wrong with that? You made a commitment to this woman, through death do us part, through sickness and health. Now you're in sickness. And sometimes when you're sick, you can't fuck. That's the deal. That's the fucking deal.
Some would say with dementia, they have 2 deaths.
I understand what you're saying.
A death mentally, so she's not there. So it's just a shell of her.
I hear what you're saying. But if they didn't have the... See, this is why you got to talk, right? Add this to the top with your partner. What if happens if you get dementia or Alzheimer's? Did that mean you can have somebody else in your relationship? Talk about it, right? Because I think if that was clearer... and I think he would have said that more explicitly if that's what that was. But he kind of danced around it. And I don't know. That's why I don't know. It just something. That's why I say he's in the recycling. Something about it don't feel right. But maybe him and Miss B have an agreement we don't know about, or I don't know. That's why he only in a recycle, because I don't know the whole inner workings. But something gut like don't feel right.
Okay.
Yeah.
She left another one.
Okay.
It's Hannigan. Now I will say that if they are sick and they have some disease like Alzheimer's, okay? I'm just not one of those people that I feel like people who are sick, who cannot respond, or their brain is still functioning, but they're in a coma, or, they're at a place in their life where they need a machine or they need other people to do something for their needs as a human being. I don't believe that it's fair to hold on to people when they're like halfway between ending a life and death. I feel like if a person cannot do for themselves, if you will not be able to watch over a person 24/7, and their mental capacity is not there, their physical capacity is not there, but their brain is functioning, I think it's kind of selfish to have someone stay for the idea of, I just need them here with me. As far as her mental capacity not being there, and he has another woman, I don't know.
Yeah, it's
me
hard.
personally, I want to be able to deal with that.
Yeah.
I would have to be divorced and have a full wife, but still take care of my ex-wife.
That's true.
And she just understand that it's not a relationship where it's sexual. It's more so that, this person I had a life with, and I take care of them. I make sure that they're okay because they're in this type of state. But I can't do no marriage when you got a girlfriend. You tried it.
Yeah. I mean, and it also goes back to like black men and black women, right? And the loyalty of black women. I even think back to like when I see examples of this, like I'm lucky enough, I had a grandfather that I seen him like take care of my grandmother, and they're older, right? So he hung in there, good, bad, ugly. When he could no longer take care of her, like he was in the nursing home daily with her, like unwavering, right? So that's the examples I have and showing. But when I think of folks outside of that, I don't know any other males who've done that. He's the only male I've known who took care of his wife like that, right? But I know plenty of stories where like women, like in the church mothers, I think go back to that, with the church mothers who be there faithfully, and then they'll stop coming, right? Because their husband can't come, their husband gets sick, right? Like all this stuff shifts, right? And you never hear the women be like, well, I be lonely and I need to get somebody else. But you hear about men that's like, well, I'm lonely, what I'm supposed to do. It's like, I don't know, they can read a book. Like, I don't know. It's something to that, right? It's something to that double standard at play. And is that something that's self-imposed on us as women? Like, are men judging us? No, they ain't. Is men judging us because of that, right? Or are we as women, are we judging each other? Are we judging ourselves? Like, I don't know. It's something more to unpack.
Well, baby, if we in that situation.
No, I'm not guaranteeing. Don't you put nothing on this. I'm not getting ozone. Don't put nothing on this radio.
We in that
don't be using this as no contract. Near I'm going to say this and put it in the cloud.
If we in this situation and I'm B. Smith, and you the husband, and you lonely.
I'm not the husband. I'm the wife. Nero.
No,
it ain't gonna be. If I'm the caregiver, Nero,
and
let's
you
use
the
the words.
caregiver,
Yeah.
and I'm like that. You got my blessing.
We can lay up in your bed.
You got my blessing.
Wear your watches.
You can't wear my watches.
Oh, okay, but he can lay with me, but he can't wear your watches. Can't wear your shit.
Can't wear my watches.
Can't wear none of your shit.
No.
Can lay up in your bed that
Yeah.
you done paid for.
Sure.
The sleep number.
Mm-hmm.
And you downstairs.
You put me in the sleep. You put me downstairs.
Well, you gonna need the hospital bed. They don't make them in sleep numbers.
They don't. Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. If I got to use the hospital bed, there
I'm
go.
gonna say something really out of order,
I know you are.
but I'm not.
We got one more voicemail.
Okay.
Oh, this one just came through.
Oh.
Hey guys, this is Danny.
Hey.
I've written to you guys a couple of times via email. Happy New Year. This is my first time actually leaving a message. But quickly, I wanted to touch on the conversation you guys had about home buying. I've actually purchased 2 homes in the last 5 years. And one quick tip is if you do have student loan debt, if you put it on deferment or
Sure.
if you put it on deferment, you can actually apply for the loan and they won't have that count towards your debt to income ratio. So that's actually one tip I have for your listeners. Also, I just wanted to comment on the conversation you guys had with about Charlemagne and Breakfast Club with, I can't even think of his name, but there was the guy that was on there.
Soulja Boy.
I did listen to that, and he did speak about how he had 100 girls that he messed with before his wife, and she was on the verge of leaving him. That's when he actually was like, you know what, I need to step it up and, be a man. And, when Charlemagne brought up the fact of, what about other guys that, want to go out there and basically do what he did? One of the things I definitely liked that he said was just the fact of, I'm trying to prevent you from kind of going through all those
Making
mistakes.
the same mistakes, yeah.
Before getting to that point, I want you to kind of see the error in my ways and kind of adjust accordingly. So I just wanted to touch base on that.
Yeah, that's true.
And also, I wanted to know if you guys, especially Nyamdi, if you guys looked into the Women's March and what happened with the president and all the backlash she received from taking a picture with the Minister Farrakhan. Just let me know your thoughts about that. How do you feel? Do you think she's right? She's wrong? Because the young lady from The View, McCain's daughter, Meghan McCain, basically just went in on her, and I just want to.
Yeah, I actually haven't dig too deep into the Women's March. I was gonna do some of that this weekend, so Monday I definitely follow up. I was passively receiving some of that information, but no, I'll dig deeper into it this weekend and report back. That's a part of my to-do list because I knew it was happening and stuff was going on, but I wasn't as versed on it, so I didn't want to speak on it if I didn't know what I was talking about. But no, I'm with you, sis. No, that is a great tip. I don't know how we forgot that. You absolutely can put your student loans in deferment, and it won't count to that debit to income ratio, which is important.
Yeah, so it was a good episode. What's your name?
Wonderful episode. Happy Black History Month, y'all. Remember, what is today? The first random act of black love is to
reconnect or call someone that you haven't talked to in a while.
Perfect.
Yeah, so as always, to submit your Black Love story, go to blacklovematters.com. To leave a question for Kitchen Table Talk, shoot us an email at blacklovematters@gmail.com. And to leave a comment about anything we talked about, head on over to that website. We got that SoundCloud or we got that voicemail, and that's at 508-784-1111. That's 508-784-1111. Talk to y'all later, and remember, love is ever evolving. Peace.